I can speak English but not fluently. From where to get this fluency? If you can speak English but that fluency is something that you want to, how to increase it, what to do, this is a solution. This is something that you must focus on. Hey everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to take one of the common problems that a lot of English learners, English speakers around the world face, and that is I can speak English but not fluently. So a lot of people, they say that they can speak English but they are looking for the fluency. They somehow lack fluency. I can speak English but not fluently. That's something said by a lot of people, and this is a common problem. So if you are facing this problem, so today I'm going to tell you why this is happening and the perfect solution for it. So are you guys ready for it? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section. So before beginning this session, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. So now coming back to today's lesson, guys, I can speak English but not fluently. So this particular problem, why does this particular problem happen? What to do? How to address it? Let's begin with everything. So first of all, when you are able to speak English and you are not able to maintain the fluency, what can be the reason? So first of all, the most common reason is a lot of times people forget words, forget what they were saying, or they want to say a particular word. It's there on the tip of their tongue, yet they do not know how to drive it. What to say it? Have you ever felt this kind of dilemma? You know that particular word, you know that this word should be used here, but you are not able to exactly remember that particular word or what it is called or what it is said. This happens a lot of times, and when you are faced with such situations, fluency breaks. Whatever you are speaking, the fluency will break because it's facing an opposition of thoughts. This happens a lot, and it's okay because we are going to address a lot of things here and I am going to give you the solution to it. So there is something that happens, it's common. If you are facing this problem, do not worry. We are going to address it. So whenever you want to speak something, it's there on the tip of your tongue, yet you face difficulty while speaking it. It means everything is perfect here. When you think about it, the sentence, everything, it's like it's so perfect. But when you want to speak it, it doesn't sound like how it sounded in your mind, right? It was 100 and 100, but when you speak it, you feel like it's not to the point. It happens a lot of time, and that's totally fine. This is happening why I'm going to tell you. Let me also address one more problem. Another problem is that you fumble in between, like fumbling or for words. Now fumbling for words to fumble in between is also breaking your fluency. Whatever you are saying, if you fumble, that means fluency getting great, right? So when you fumble for words, why it is happening again? The problem is with the words that you are using. The idea that was there is in your subconscious mind. Somehow that idea is not able to come fully in front of external language, expression. For example, you are speaking something, the output, so it's there internally, but the external expression is not fulfilled. Whatever you want to say, it's not coming out in such a proper way. A lot of times you forget the trail of what you were saying. For example, you were saying something, all of a sudden you go blank. like what to say next. You are totally blank about it, and if these things are happening, you are facing the problem that you can speak English but not fluently. All of these problems, they come under this one huge area of not being fluent enough. It's not like you can't speak English. Obviously you can. You can understand English, you can form sentences, you know about sentence structures. But the thing is that when you are speaking something spontaneously, a lot of problems, they arises at that very particular time, at that very particular moment. What to do about it, how to address it, what to improve, because you are learning words, you know the meanings of the words. Still this is happening, and the problem is the real reason why you are facing everything is the lack of active vocabulary. So pay attention, the lack of active vocabulary, this is one thing that is stopping you from being fluent. If you are making all the right efforts and you still are facing all these kinds of problems, and you are facing that, the X factor of fluency is not there, that kind of problem like you can speak English but not fluently. So this is the reason, the real reason, the lack of active vocabulary. Now what is active vocabulary? See, when we are speaking something, we are using a language. What we are doing, we speaking in sentence. They are constructed of what words? So word is the basic unit of any language. Active vocabulary means words. We are learning a lot of words in a particular language, but the real magic lies in the uses. How we are using them in a particular sentence. How many words we are learning does not matter. How many of those we are using, that matters a lot. So active vocabulary means the word that you are using. For example, there might be a word effervescent. You might have learned, but if you are not using it, it's not your active vocabulary. There might be a particular word euphoric. You might have learned, but if you are not using it, you are not comfortable using it in a sentence. That means this is not your active vocabulary. Active vocabulary means the words that you are comfortable using while speaking English. You are comfortable using them, you can use them comfortably and easily without putting much pressure on your mind. You can use them quite easily. For example, the word happy, right? Happy is a synonym of euphoric. You can use that easily, that's your active vocabulary. Now you are not using the word euphoric. Why? Because this is not in your active vocabulary. You have learned the word and it's stored there at the back of your mind, in your passive memory. That means if you come across the word, you will be able to recognize it because you know it, but you don't know how to use it. So active vocabulary means you know exactly how to use it, and when you know how to use it, this increases your fluency. Looking for words, stumbling for words, mind goes blank, or all of these problems, they got eradicated. Why? Because you are not confused about using a particular word. You might take a pause for a second, for 2 seconds, and that's it. Because once you know, oh, that's the word, you will again begin from that particular point. But a lot of time that particular word lies in your passive vocabulary, passive memory. You are not able to retrieve it. You are there, you are thinking about it, fumbling for words, and these kinds of problems, they arises. So why? Because that particular phrase, word, whatever you want to say, the idea, it's not there in your active memory, active vocabulary. So no, it's there in your passive vocabulary. So what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to learn them, and we are supposed to move them from passive vocabulary to our active vocabulary. That means knowing how to use a word is a very important. The solution lies is not just learning a particular word. The solution lies in knowing how to use the word, because we lack what active vocabulary, and to increase that active vocabulary is the solution. So let's move forward to the second part of this particular video, that solution. Now the solution is to obviously increase your active vocabulary. How to do that? To increase your active vocabulary, that you are supposed to do. So whenever you are learning something, try to use it immediately. There is a particular saying in English, use it or lose it. You must have heard me saying this particular phrase a lot of time in my previous videos. So use it or lose it. That means if you don't use it, you lose it. Your passive memory, passive vocabulary, but if you use the word, you will keep it in your active memory, active vocabulary. And that means, so if you want to make a word, a particular sentence, whatever learning to be a part of your active vocabulary, you have to also start using it. That's the rule number 1. Use it or lose it. Now the next rule number 2, is to start using the word that you already know. Now what you have to do is, you have to find out what are the words that you know are with you. You know the meaning, you know about them, you have heard them, you recognize these words, but you do not use them. You will be able to easily recognize, because if you are reading something, you are listening to something, you can stop and assess that. Okay, so this is the word that I know. So once you come across this type of word, you know the meaning, you will be able to recognize them, you will be able to recognize where you have heard that particular word, or you will be able to recognize where you have seen that word. While reading, where you have interacted with the word, you might also remember the meaning of the thing. The thing is that you don't use it, you don't really use it in your English speaking, and these kind of the words are the words that you need to pay attention to, instead of learning new words and then piling them like in your passive vocabulary. That's wrong. For example, you have this much active vocabulary and you already have this much passive vocabulary. The right thing to do is turn your passive vocabulary to active one. Okay, convert the passive vocabulary into your active vocabulary before learning anything new, any new word, because the new word that you will be learning, they are going now where but in your passive vocabulary. So you might be learning 10 new words, just one new word will be there in your active vocabulary, and 9 to 8 words would go into your passive vocabulary. So because there is already a stack of passive vocabulary, so that's you are not using. So the correct thing to do is recognize what a passive vocabulary and convert it into your active one, and then go out learn new words. So do this and you will see that you have increased your fluency, because you have increased your uses of words, you have increased your active vocab. That's the solution. So take this up and you will be able to speak English fluently. So this is the solution for this one problem, and that is I can speak English but not fluently. From where to get this fluency? If you can speak English, but that fluency is something that you want to, how to increase it, what to do this, what to do. So this is the solution. This is something that you must focus on. Take it up, whatever I have discussed, all the problems and the solutions. You need to go follow it and see how the way you speak English changes, and you will be able to speak English fluently. So that's it for today's video, guys. And if you like the video, please give thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And one more thing, if you are a beginner, if you want spoken English series, please watch my videos day 1, day 2, day 3. So I have uploaded till day 10. You can watch my videos and improve your English speaking skills with me. So if you like the video, please give thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. So thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.